It's going to a third map. Overpass looked as though it should, on paper, have been all about Heroic, but there was one man against him at the start of this, and it was Hampus. The rest joined in the second half eventually, but it was an incredibly close game. Incredibly close. Right down to the wire. So I'm excited now for the map number 3. I mean, I will admit I had completely written off Red Reserve after they lost that first map. Again, I thought that Train was going to be the key to their success if they found any whatsoever. But I've eaten my words. Well, I think Heroic probably didn't expect to get to the third map either, considering this is one of the best maps that there is for Red Reserve. If you do your research, they absolutely love this. And Heroic have led it up to play. Now, whether or not that actually changes the outcome, we're going to find out. But if Red Reserve get their way with this, this could be a very taxing map. But we haven't really seen them on Mirage because everyone just takes it away from them. So again, this could be quite interesting if it actually does pan out the way I expect it to. I'm really not sure who's going through the finals now. Neither am I. Again, because of the result on Overpass, I feel like everything's just in question. You can look at paper all you want when it comes down to execution. Red Reserve have really turned some heads the entirety of this weekend. And again, they got here on a bit of a fluke, and they've made the most of it, which I respect. You know, they don't come into this series and then just drop the 0-2 goose egg and go home. They've actually been able to contest the grand finals of their very first LAN event. A $100,000 DreamHack on the line. Ninjas in Pajamas lie in wait. Just waiting to see, of course, who they will play up against. But it all comes down to this. Well, fine. Threat wanted to face the other Swedes, didn't he? He already said he wanted to face Red Reserve, get a bit of, not revenge for him, but Red Reserve would love another shot at it, right? They'd love to have another go back at NIP because that was probably their worst scoreline thus far in this tournament. Beyond that, they've started to really perform, but it is Mirage between these two. Most people haven't seen Red Reserve at their full potential, but apparently this is one of their best maps where we should be seeing it, but Heroic are no slouches. Let's see who really has it all for the final map here. Red Reserve just instantly going to go out towards that B site. Snappy taking a couple of shots, finally hits one to the head of Freddie Frog. And he's going to try yet again as he just peppers the back of the benches. East tag coming in from Cat, and more reinforcements have arrived. So it is the man advantage here to the CT side, but no kit for the retake. Hampus as well, going to find Yugi. I'm curious if that's planted for the window spot, but it doesn't matter yet. Snappy's going to find Hampus, but it's still a 4v3. They need to quicken this retake as they're still unsure of where they need to dig these players out of, and now the T's are going to get in awkward positions. The shutdown comes in. It's Nico trying all he can, but Rusty says goodbye. 2 kills for him, 2 for Maikelele, and a confident start. That's exactly how they had to come into this. This is wild. Serious momentum already for them to play with. And again, even if this comes down to the slugfest, we saw Red Reserve gruel out a victory versus CLG yesterday on this map in a decider BO3. Exactly what this is here again. Double AK rather, that's a Galil in the hands of Freddie Frog. But they've got the umps, they've got the utility, and honestly, there's a UMP for Snappy as well. So a bit of a threat here for Heroic. They can certainly contest this round. You'd hate to see Red Reserve just overstep some boundaries. But they left the bomb towards spawn, so no commitment ready to be made. Yeah, it's a pinch through mid, quite simply. They have the utility still, they have the smokes up, so they can basically define it where they get the pick from. Hampus gets outdone, though. That's Motty just taking a wild swing at it, and that's fine. That's great. You win out on these, it makes it a little bit trickier, but it might just make you lean towards A further, because you lose information over by B. Hence why we're seeing the pullback from other players through underpass, coming all the way back around, ensuring that no one's pushed up. The Motty hasn't found more information than he should have done. Heroic already going to go for a bit of a lean towards B. They're going to try and, I guess, balance it out, right? They don't have much to play for, but you've got to also bear in mind there's a push towards ramp here from Snappy that's actually really integral. If he's able to cut off the bomb en route and then maybe fall away, whatever he can do, it's perfect. Because they're already going to play up through connector, which will pinch the player in jungle, that being S-Tag. So hit the brakes a little bit here. They're going to get themselves ready. They have 2 smokes left. One on Freddie, one on Rusty. And that could easily help out here, but it's all on Snappy, essentially, to my eyes. If he can stop this bomb going in with, for free, that's perfect. There's going to be a second player. He gets the tag, that's fine. All information's found. Now Heroic can stack the correct site. Relax is just going to creep on the other side of the smoke, though. That's Easty Tyke sectioned off. He offers up his back down. He drops. Freddie Frog trying to come in from Palace. And the bomb now making its cross. There's 15 seconds on the clock. And no, they can't ensure the plant because Motty, he's been able to find himself a headshot. CT's flooding sight. Maikelele gets away with his life, but not for long as Yugi finds the frag. Relaxa trying to swing it with one of his own, but here we go. Heroic with an upset. Simply enough, Red Reserve didn't have much step towards the A site. By the time they'd worked through there, they had connector control, which is great, but nothing towards jungle. They had no step early towards A, so they had no control towards ramp. They were just banking on CT being maybe slightly absent of players, but a fair few amount there, and a good start for Motty certainly helped out. It kind of hindered all the plans they had and forced them to kind of force their hand towards A. Now the buy's going to come in for the CT side. It's not going to be brilliant either. It's still going to be a close one. So you're going to see Red Reserve right back at it. Molly's galore. I'm wondering if they have a plan in mind. Maybe an A piece. I hope. I don't know how much they have Red Reserve. This is a good map for them. That it's just the default A, but then with the smokes in the line across rather than the default smokes. It just brings the Tech-9s to a better spot. We might be seeing that now. Actually, is this 5 smokes going up? Yeah, it is. All right, this is a sick different hit. I'm wondering where these go. So it is the line. You see the 3 smokes going through there. The mollies then come in towards Sandwich, and the spray from Estai connects towards one. Snappy's still alive, yet to be pested. Oh, Snappy delivers. It's Maikelele left here, and he's just watched his team get massacred. That's a brilliant piece coming through. I like the intention. But Heroic, these guys, any Danish team, they know how to play Mirage. They've seen, Dignitas back in their day, all the way through, running through that. They had those creative strategies. You don't get away with it against them.
Crucial little anchor play there from Snappy. Despite the Molotovs over towards Sandwich, nothing under Balk. So he's allowed to play onto his own avail. And he succeeds in his efforts. It is the full 5-man Glock from Red Reserve. Flashbang from Yugi, just going to try to blind these players as the fire keeps them back. Maikelele dealt with as Snappy yet again just starts to clean up these easy frags. Yugi nades out Relaxa. He's found 3. He's found 4. The bodies hit the floor. And that's going to be Heroic to find another round. So the 2-point lead, they're starting to bounce back from this, but it is going to be Red Reserve bouncing as well into this one with some guns and grenades to boot.
Yeah, nice for Yugi here just to stat pad more than anything. It doesn't really make much of a difference. He still had a great deal of money anyway, so he could have gone towards the AWP as soon as he wants to. No point to obviously lose out on the rifle, so he's fine as is. Quick smoke towards middle, he sprays to deny a quick changeover, but Relaxer can just take his time. Again, we haven't seen that many new looks to Heroic yet because they haven't been forced to it. No real CT-side aggression apart from this. First time we've seen it, the flash didn't quite work on it. Didn't really catch any of them out. That's a bit of a deficit now over by B.
See Tag just trying to pry towards Connector, attempting to find an equalizing kill. Meanwhile, Red Reserve just congregate towards spawn, back to the depths of which they came and over towards A. But yet again, we have Snappy pushed up aggressively, and he had a significant impact on this position prior. Can he do it yet again?
If he has one step, you're going to get a way better support system coming around as well. The 2 players on B should go straight towards CT. But this could be the kind of execute. It might not just be the dry hit this time, which could make it slightly harder, but he's going to hear these jumps. He might hear and see the smokes early, so he could take his time on it. But Hampus has got this in mind, that this could be a possibility. I like this. Good awareness. That's going to maybe cancel this attack. No, they're still going to go for it. Snappy, he's going to make the call. He knows what's coming now. The player through Palace could still be a problem, but it's all Snappy. Great damage dealt. Maikelele low, but Relaxer going to strike back. But now Heroic are in with a shot, and more than that. They've got Maikelele low, Relaxer down to 40, and the bomb's just making it to site.
DC Tag has full connector control, so he is fine for this retake attempt. Massive health advantage here in the hands of Heroic, but utility dwindling low. There's that 1 frag on Maikelele, still a smoke double flash. Relaxa looks to make some space, but Easy Tag takes the frag, traded back by Relaxa, and he wants some more. Yugi gives it straight to him, and Maikelele on the long con tries to wrap this round. If he doesn't reveal his hand, he could catch them by surprise. He spots the first, near the second, but it's Yugi with a kill and Heroic with another round, all thanks to Snappy. Impactful play at the beginning of that execution yet once more. We saw Hampus on B of Overpass, but now it's Snappy at A for Mirage. In-game leaders can frag, and they can do so impactfully.
They do need to start addressing, even though it's not full CT side aggression, they're not pushing up massively. They need to start addressing this on Red Reserve. Maybe just split the player who's normally going through Palace, maybe put them towards ramp. I don't know, but they need to change something up here, and they're not going to go for the A-lean, so this looks like it's somewhat of a B hit. Maybe a quick mid-take eventually through Underpass, just purely because there's no lurk towards A at all. There has been that double stack towards B, but there we go. We're going to start seeing the players going towards Underpass, and 3 still wait by those B apartments. Motty had a game before. Not sure if he's seen a player there. He might have done. Good nade to reach the depths of middle. Maikelele looking for Motty to play into this. Shot comes through. Motty shouldn't be re-peeking this now. He can fall off, sit by the back of bench, create the crossfire with Nico, and he's fine.
Maikelele dodges flashbangs. Freddie Frog jumps out the windowsill. Motty is fully blind here, but it's going to be Nico with one frag. EC tag the next, and they're just holding this in. Sure enough, there's terrorists on the bomb site. That's Rusty trying to flank, but it's Heroic with a massive kill advantage. 4 players up at the end of that one. Another round on the board. These are very fast rounds, but they're all going the way of Heroic.
And no one even checking on Motty at the end then. There was no molly towards it, no nades. Even though they'd seen someone earlier there, they didn't really just check through methodically. And by the time they'd all been seen, there's such a stack there from Heroic. Red Reserve, if this is your best map, you've got to be bringing a little bit more. Heroic and not slouches. You can't just depend on that individual firepower to get you through it just yet. You need the guns beside you. You need enough rounds. And now at 5-1, the money starts to build pretty drastically for Heroic. And Hampus looking to try and find an opportunity. No one's pushed up ramp this time, of course. There's no point doing it against pistols. You're just asking for trouble. So Snappy put to task by CT. Misses the shot just due to the crouch, and this could encourage that hit to come through ramp. But Estag's going to pick up the mantle and do the damage instead. 2 smokes now remain. Not much more to be seen, I can imagine, unless they hit something ridiculous with a deagle or two. At the moment, Heroic have full control.
Starting to watch players filter to the bottom of mid. That's Rusty. He could just anchor in the cubby if need be, but Yugi, all the wiser. Gonna keep his attention trained in this direction. Spots the peak. Rusty slightly tagged. But now Red Reserve, the entirety of their forces just grouped up to the bottom here. Snappy's gonna find one. That's relaxed it down for the count. Yugi tries to line him up, but nonetheless, Snappy hits the shot. And that 5-point lead now for Heroic on the board. So, just pistols, not enough. Red Reserve need guns, and they also need a pause to talk things over.
They're getting outplayed categorically here, if I'm completely honest. Individually, you're starting to see a little bit better work from Heroic. I don't think we can say, you know, on a one-to-one skill basis that there's much of a disparity between either of these teams. We've seen a couple of players have big moments, but they can be on par with each other. We're seeing that back and forth. But the way that we're seeing the approach coming in from Heroic, it's very good. It's well-rounded. They're finding good CT information, and they're playing off the back of it.
Red Reserve still saying vocal in their pause. And it's not too far gone at this point. I mean, we saw them near come back on train despite a massive advantage for Heroic. So just pause, figure things out, come up with a fresh plan. I mean, we've seen that execution and that nice smoke piece into the A-bomb site, but you'd hope, of course, if Red Reserve statistically this is their best map, they should have a nice set piece over towards B as well. I mean, you can Molotov out the catwalk, prevent that mid-rotation, smoke off arch side, smoke off market, just try to, you know, filter those players out. You know that Mahdi's playing up close by Van, that he falls back towards bench. They're aware of the positioning here towards the B site. Try and exploit that. Try to change things up. Because right now, as you said, outclassed categorically. However, it's a double op setup from Heroic in the next. So a bit of a shift in the defense.
Maybe expecting Red Reserve to keep up to the same sort of pacing they've been coming in with so far, with that kind of, I wouldn't say a split and pick style. It's not quite it, but it just doesn't seem as cohesive as I'd like to see it. They have good theory ideas, and that's something that you often see teams who have more time to work on that stuff come up with, especially on maps like Mirage. It's very easy to be kind of creative on it and come up with some nice variations on previous ideas. Kind of gets you a good shout in a map pool, obviously, but it's a different thing to make it work against, you know, tier 1 teams or teams who play against tier 1 opponents on a regular basis. The fundamentals have to be so good to allow you to do the additional against them. Now we're going to see that different approach coming from Heroic. It might be hard for now Red Reserve to read into it. We'll see what their plan was on Red Reserve. They do have the AWP here for Maikelele. Maybe he can make this work. Maybe he can find a difference. So he's going straight towards middle. And here comes the mid-aggression. I like this. Instantly changing it up. And S-Tag delivers. Brilliant play from him. 2 big kills. And instantly Red Reserve's hopes and dreams are dashed over just one man, switching up the pace.
So well done. I mean, he doesn't have the most amount of kills so far in this game, but he has had impactful rounds aplenty. Yugi gonna get spotted here, but he's able to escape. No problem whatsoever, as that 2-man advantage is held on to. Red Reserve left reeling backwards. Now, of course, Hampus can go down towards underpass, and if he can split in towards middle, maybe distract the man on staircase, that's EC Tag himself. The player with 2 kills already in this one. One towards ramp, one towards palace. The three-pronged assault from Red Reserve. Full utility as well. Chuck some of that over towards Catwalk, make a bit of noise, create a distraction, something here to offset the defense, because Heroic have looked like a brick wall. You can see ECTag still looking to peak up this pace, and now a back offered over. Hampus removed. Sure, Rusty and Freddie are able to respond with 2 frags of their own, but one man heavily lit. So smoke grenades to cover the cross, Molotov to stop the push. That from Nico, but the Molotov goes way too wide, so Nico's just allowed all this free space, and it's that missed grenade that allows it. Nico sees the opportunity, and he seizes it on the bomb site. 2 quick kills and a defuse as well to take Heroic to 7.
This is brutal so far. Heroic are bored of this game, it seems. They won the finals. They're thinking about NIP already. They don't like these Swedes. They want the upgraded version. They didn't like how Overpass went. And they're proving it right now. Great spraying from Nico, and I'm surprised he got away with it, but he did. Trying to get the bomb down, but look at the money now already building up. 10K on Motty. Double AWP still in practice, sitting pretty. Red Reserve, get on the board. Get this game going. Show us why you like this map. Show us why teams don't want to play you on it. And again, we see somewhat of a default building, but I like this little switch up here. Freddie going towards ramp rather than palace. I like it. Because Snappy, are you pushing ramp with an AWP? Yeah, you are. All right, someone's confident. That could be a bit of a detriment. Look at Yugi as well. Both AWPs pushing pushing A. It's not normal, and the boost towards window could be a bit of a problem here because they're going to be pinned towards one side. So this could be a little bit of a fault. If it works for Red Reserve this round, it's a bit fluky, but a round's a round at this point.
Yeah, they're in really good position to win this round. It's all just going to come down to execution. Unfortunately for Rusty, he gets fired out. Forced back to the left side. ECTag has his number. He's got the damage dealt. Through the edge of the wall, he finds the frag, and he looks for further more. But now that bomb shifting its attention up ramp into the crosshair of Snappy. It comes as ECTag re-engages back towards windowsill. Snappy finding one. Yugi's attention yet to be pulled back, but he doesn't need to move because Heroic have all these frags. Freddy, Frog, all that remains for Red Reserve. A 7-point lead, surely on the table for Heroic.
This is an absolute beatdown, isn't it? If Snappy is still able to do that on ramp with an AWP, and I've got to say credit to ASTRO as well, because he's not been quiet, but he's not exactly like the flashy player. He was already predicting the play through window coming in. He was playing really nicely towards connector. He basically controlled that portion of middle by himself. He would have had support if he lost it. There was players ready to jump in, but he's starting to really show that he's got a lot of potential beside him. And Freddie just wants to keep hold of this rifle. He doesn't want any trouble anymore. He's had enough of it. He doesn't like this game. This tag. We'll find him, but no one else is close enough by to take the gun away. So Freddie will be able to keep hold of the gun. The rest of the team going to be left fighting for scraps.
My goodness. This is a whole new beast from Heroic. It's really Snappy, Yugi, and ECTag stepping up. Notably, those A-site players, actually. A in mid has been their game. When Red Reserve get forced into the B site, they're still hindered on their execution. But that's where they will try yet once more. Freddy Frog, the Catalyst rifle. Triple Tech 9, lots of grenades. So I was mentioning, of course, that set piece towards the B site, whether or not they had it in their playbook, and it seems as though they do. But it looks like Heroic are already starting to shift their attention away from A, much more passive this time around. Snappy towards Ticket, allowing Heroic to try and fight at B.
S-Tag's going to be coming up through short pretty quickly. They already have Nico on the crossfire as well. Motty, if he can stay alive, take two with him. Oh, he does. This is perfect play from Motty. Between him and Nico, it's a complete shutdown. And Red Reserve, what a horrible game to close out on. Unless they have, the comeback of the century. It's not the fact that the score's one-sided. We've seen one-sided scores in this game, but the rounds have been close. It's the fact these rounds are not close. It's the fact that Heroic are not being pushed to their limits at all.
I don't understand. You have a full grenade buy in that round and nobody uses a Molotov towards Van. Sure enough, you want to jump back there yourself, but just allows for Mahdi to do that. Lines them up, knocks them down, and does it with absolute ease. Never even breaking a sweat. As Rusty starts to feel the heat towards the bottom of underpass. Already a man advantage, literally in the opening seconds here for Heroic. So they're just going to be able to turtle up towards the sites. They need not force the fight, but rather hold the line. allowing Red Reserve to do as they will over towards mid, expending the little utility they held onto, and the even littler that remains. It's a flash towards Catwalk, allowing Freddie to try an entry, but Niko's boosted on sight. Heads up position as Motty yet again tries to anchor, will find only one, but Niko yet to fire his gun. Trigger discipline, stops the bomb, and he knows the man's towards bench. It's a man advantage now taken back as Rusty finds one frag, but Freddie with the next leaves it just down to Snappy.
Freddie, how much do you want to win this? Snappy has been destroying your team. He's been pushed up ramp. He's been everywhere you didn't want, but that bomb is not in your hands and you know it. You're praying that Snappy gets a little over-aggressive, feels it a little too much, but you've got to move eventually. Picks his side, he goes. Snappy, what a shot as well. Drops out the orb, picks up the M4. This man is relentless at closing out this game. He does not want any more fuss, any more trouble to come from Red Reserve. And you can see Freddie's trying to fight for this, and he is trying damn hard too, but Snappy just as switched on.
So can Red Reserve find a second round with only these pistols? An incredibly fast game we've had thus far. We are 12 rounds deep in what feels like 20 minutes. Heroic not getting aggressive towards the top of mid, not throwing EC Tag aggressively in there, but rather just allowing him to linger back. That's a T-side smoke to block off the top of the connector. Indicates generally a bit of a cat play. Of course, this could be why Yugi starts to shift his attention towards the windowsill, and Niko's going to play up close, hoping for the off angle. Great movement by Yugi. That nets him one frag. Rusty down for the count as Niko finds another, fades back towards the site, and Hampus with Freddie able to find some real estate here. That B site has fallen for the most part. Yugi still up, dealing damage, but it's a double man advantage for the T side, and yes, sir, they've done it. With only just those pistols, they find something that works.
It was a nice pinch towards B. You saw the attention being drawn across the map. The look towards short from Niko. Sure, he got one, but that's the exact time they started to come flooding out. So really nice work between them. It was Freddie to find it. Motty a little late to the support role. Maybe he was playing a little bit more passive as he has done to this point. And it's worked well to that moment. But Freddie's starting to come alive here. Much better play from him individually, starting to find these kills. But Red Reserve, good timing on that piece. And oh, Yugi. Let them have their moment in the sun, please.
Nope. Just rips it from their cold, clammy hands. The corpse to the top side of mid already. Hampus looks to make some room over in the apps. Of course, Mahdi not towards Van, but rather site itself, has the man tucked away towards Catwalk. Sits on the other side of arches. Of course, that bomb's starting to just shuffle its way forward. Quietly, of course, not looking to give away anything. And with all these grenades, we could see Red Reserve go back to that set piece. It looked nice enough when they did it with the Tech 9s, but Snappy still spotting players towards A. This could pull the rotation or at least keep Heroic committed, allowing Red Reserve to split.
I think you have to do a little bit more to take those players off of B. One's not enough. Molly goes in towards the balcony ledge, but that's going to give away the game just a touch. Niko already going to find Rusty. The three players trying to group up and make this count, but it's going to be tough. They have utility, but they need to put it to play. Motty's having the time of his life here. Finally, Freddie arrives, and S-Tag goes down, but Motty again. Joined by Yugi. Time to strike. And it all became a little bit obvious. It all got worked out once that Molly got put in. Again, Heroic. Striding now to those grand finals. The half coming up pretty soon here. And it looks like Heroic are right on the verge of getting just enough to not worry about that second half.
It's incredible. Red Reserve were really relying on that A-site hit for the most part of the T side, at least at the beginning, but because, of course, Yugi, Snappy, and EC Tag have had such success already, they start to focus more over on B, and now with Niko and Mahdi being under question, they too are stepping up in a very real way. Poor Red Reserve. It looks so promising. They still have a chance to get 4 rounds on the board, but they're going to need this one. And they're already dry on utility for the most part.
I hate Snappy's position. I absolutely hate it. Because they died, what, like 4 of them died to it before? On the execute they had with full smokes, mollies, everything. Here we go, Snappy. How much can you get done? Are they going to keep it in mind? Will they remember what happened? No, clearly not. It's fallen from their memory. The spray comes in. He still gets 2. It's everything. Hampus is going to break in. He's going to get some work done, but Yugi is straight there. It's a 3v2, and Hampus and Freddie trying to pull this one back together, but the angle's found, and Yugi is relentless.
Yeah, it's Hampus all that's left. Takes one off ticket, but Mahdi executes to the headshot. That's a 12-2 lead. That's a commandeering lead. As 10 rounds, the senior is heroic. Well played by Snappy. You'd think, of course, they'd keep an eye towards it, but not this time around. Uses the slight gap between the wood in order to cake the man off Tetris, and this leaves Red Reserve dilapidated. Only pistols. Couple of bits of utility. Already Hampus gonna feel the heat. Niko tries to get aggressive here. He's cowering towards the door side. And Snappy, meanwhile, spots targets over towards A, but this is aggressive play from Red Reserve. Freddie Frog finding 2, and there's number 3. Rusty with a headshot. And the bomb plant to follow suit. So Red Reserve, at the very least, should have 3 rounds moving forward.
13-2 makes it look impossible. Get at least 3, maybe you can grind it back. Get a decent scoreline on the board. Heroic getting a little bit overzealous with their play towards middle, and there's the half. 12-3, though, is a very, very scary scoreline. Red Reserve, it's been great up till this point. It's been impressive by all accounts, individually, as a collective, whatever you want. It doesn't really matter how you want to look at it. They've been taking maps off teams who have incredible favor, and Freddy there just unleashing himself forward. And by the time that Heroic responded, it was too little too late. So now we wait to see what they can do as the side switch happens. Heroic have a lot to bring, though. They have a lot of ideas, they have a lot of executes. They play this essentially like the Danish team people expect them to be, right? It's how it is with them. And I always look at, you know, teams like North when MSL was always at the helm. They had that very creative way to play the first pistol round with all those smokes and nades coming in. It's hard to play against. They always have these lovely theory pieces. Now I wonder if Heroic have it. Wouldn't be surprised, but we'll see. With only 3 rounds in between them, basically, and their victory, they know what they have to do.
Very important next round on the table here. Poor Red Reserve after that showing in the second map. You thought you had it in them, but they've clearly come up empty-handed. Heroic, not going to go for any kind of complicated execution. They're going to keep things simple. Armor, Glocks, W.
What do you mean? It's the most perfect piece. They've watched every demo ever from Red Reserve. I actually don't know. This is complete lies. But it's quite funny how well it's worked so far. They've made it way too far, considering they literally just ran up mid.
Yep. I mean, it is nice you actually control Catwalk so that plant for Cat is easy to do. There's no contest whatsoever. So, simple, yet successful. For now. Of course, there's that kit on Relaxa coming in for the retake, but Motty pops his noggin, looks for number 2. On the site itself is going to be the next target. Of course, we do have Freddie coming in from mid. He's taking damage as Maikelele takes kills. Headshot to his name. Freddie Frog trying to tame the threat from the jungle, and he will as Maikelele sticks the bomb. Yes, sir. Red Reserve able to find a round, and that's at least something to play off of.
Great intuition to keep hold of that smoke as well. Really well played out. You got to feel like that round was almost looking very much in the pocket there of Heroic. A strange one from them, just to literally Glock run through mid, assuming that no USP would be facing them. And actually, well, there wasn't much. You got Yugi put up into a good spot here. And Estag, of course, breaking through towards short was the great bit here. But no shots really coming in to bear there at the end as the defuse did come out. Purchase comes in for Red Reserve. It's time to rebuild. Time to get that good scoreline on the board. And hope that there's light at the end of this rather long tunnel.
Rusty finding one. Oh! What a flick! Easy tag just gets erased. And Yugi finds one to play off of, but Red Reserve still with a clear advantage in this round. I mean, there's no utility thanks to that one bomb plant and the pistol. They're looking for the early buy. A plant here or a couple of kills could soften up Red Reserve for that quick purchase. Of course, Heroic, not the kind of team to just throw this moment away. They do have that kill. Rusty is tagged, and he could be dealt with now. But no, he's able to find one more. Relaxes as well with the scout. Catches Niko, so Yugi all that remains.
Likely he'll be able to find much, considering where they are posted up currently. Hard for him to put that pistol into a position where it can find some damage, but no, I think he just got spotted there. Maikelele just about peeking out from the ladder room at the right time. And another one goes on the board. So a relatively clean round is more important here as well for them. They can get their good guns up, they can get the money building, and they need to. But yeah, this shot was just ridiculous, wasn't it? Boop.
Later, nerd.
You gotta feel bad for S-Tag on that one. It's just like, well, okay. I can't do anything about that. That's fine. But here comes the buy from Heroic. They did get that plant, obviously. And Red Reserve gonna have to be a little aware of this now. Molly comes in towards Connector. Smoke goes back through. But 2 players dedicated towards middle. You can see this B pressure starting to build early for Heroic here. They are down to 2 smokes and a couple of flashes. And Yugi eyeing this one up. Freddie on the other side, however.
Yeah, Maikelele as well, just outside the windowsill. Not quite sitting still. Instead, he takes the fight, and it pays off. He's able to find the head through the edge of the wall. There's Yugi with the response as he pops Freddy. Frog. Maikelele again, though, holding the line as Nico finally responds back with a kill. But it's the man advantage still in the hands of Red Reserve. Not for long, though. Heroic making space, creating waves, and more importantly, opportunity for this bomb to fall back.
He's got so much time. Oh my, oh, I took the fight. He got the dink. You can kind of imagine as to why. S-Tag now as well gets a good tag on this. It is possible. Relaxes 50, Hampers 20. Oh God, that looked on him, but no. S-Tag now, can he make the jump? Yeah, he can. Still opportune moments here. But hard to break in. First shot baits him. And it should be Hampus to shut the book on this round. There it is. Done at the end. And Maikelele really handling that situation. Yeah,
that was a crucial round from him. Great little heads-up play, just tucks himself in. I mean, credit to Freddie Frog, because he's the one who softens up these targets. So Maikelele just gets credit. Gets the job done. Hands in the assignment. But that's a doubled score still for Heroic, although it is only pistols. So, Red Reserve with another chance to further this comeback. 2 quick kills for Rusty. Terrorists start to flood in. This is an easy round, no contest. Yugi with 69 health, looking for something, and he will hit the headshot. Down goes Relaxa. Frag grenade softening him further up.
He's just being a bit of a pest more than anything at this point. He's got 2 HP, and he's somehow still alive. Crouching under the hail of bullets. As I think Rusty's had enough by this point. Can one of you just kill him? There it is. Hampus puts him down. And it will be another on the board for Red Reserve. Now, I'm not going to say anything about a comeback yet because it's still so far away. But this is good from them. They've gone through, they've jumped through the hoops they need to get, you know, a game back looking competitive. 12-7 looks like it's a good game. And it might just be that, but we need a couple more on the board. Get to 10, and then we are game on. Then it's everything's all square, all even. Until that point, still Heroic's matchup.
Freddie Frog just leaping to the side of Van, spotting targets inside of apps as Heroic further themselves in mid. Of course, there's no op in play to counter that of Relaxa, but a smoke grenade towards windowsill will obscure the vision of Hampus. Rusty as well blocked off, so this would generally indicate a cat play. Because Red Reserve have a man over by the arch, they're waiting for it. No noise made by Heroic, but they're looking to bamboozle. Split back into the A site, come barreling through the smoke. Rusty fully blind, he has to fall off, but the kill hole blocked. Still kills found for the CT side till Yugi trades it. And Heroic sit in a 3v3, but the man up short able to drop one. Maikelele with the response, and Yugi takes the trade. However, Maikelele's still up, and the op on Relaxa as well is standing. 2v2 towards A as the bomb's planted on connector side.
Bomb goes in. They know where Relaxer is. It's finding Maikelele and ensuring that he hasn't gone somewhere different. Yugi can knock him out. That's pretty much his plan at the moment. In case he jumps to window. Didn't hear the drop to mid. Yugi unawares. And Relaxa has to wait for this. He's going to hear the steps now. Molly's going to go in, but it might not be quick enough at this point. Maikelele could just run through it. Flashes in. He's looking for the fight here. He wants it, and now here comes the play from Relaxer as well. He lands the shot towards Snappy. It's all on Yugi. He needs the ace, and he's not going to get it. Great play back in from Maikelele in the end. And the defuse comes out. This is looking like game on now. Red Reserve turning up.
Counter-terrorists win.
Slowly but surely, things get closer. Heroic looking a little deflated now, but that was a good play from Yugi to get in from the window. Of course, he gets the 3K onto Freddie Frog as well. It was really just Maikelele from short putting a thorn in their side. Red Reserve taking Heroic for a bit of a ride. Starting off with Motty towards the ramp. Yugi wants something to do at the B site, but they left bomb and spawn. So really at this point, Heroic, they're not committed to anything.
Yugi baiting out the sound of the bomb drop by dropping his pistol. That's really... It's a pretty cute play, actually. Might keep them dedicated here further. If there was a player kind of tucked in a little closer towards beneath window by the archers on short, they would have heard that and been like, oh, he's just dropped the bomb. And they're baiting out it's going to be a B hit. So interesting if they have an additional lean towards B because of that. If Hampus maybe rotates over, they might not have even heard it. So again, it's just a nice small idea. However, Heroic are grouping towards A. So Yugi probably going to be baiting it out by B. Might just play late through underpass. Depends how well this goes.
Yugi at least anchoring over towards apps. He's just going to serve as some kind of a commitment. Could always come late underpass if they're able to connect the plant again. Crucial smoke over towards the A site, thanks to Yugi. And an additional volley in. So, Relaxa trying to find an angle above, does take Niko down, and then reels back into safety as Rusty just looks to anchor inside jungle. Meanwhile, bombs successfully crossed over towards the triple. Trying to find the plant through the cover. Hampus again just fires through smoke, fires through boxes. Nothing stops this man. Nothing stops Red Reserve from making this game closer. Mahdi having to double back as Yugi opens up towards B, but they know the bomb's on A site and Mahdi's now been dealt with, so a 1v4. Improbable.
Yeah, especially with the time. But I do want to discuss the hit that was intended then from Heroic. It's actually a really nice idea. It basically creates a lane. Yugi's smoke goes towards Connector. It falls at the very short side of Connector. He actually does fall there, but yeah, that's going to put their money back. So yeah, Yugi basically puts that smoke down to the, I guess, middle side of Connector, and then they have everything else smoked off. And it's actually just really nice because you can run those kind of lesser weapons through. You can see it here, but this sort of angle being found by Relaxer is huge. And then I think it was Hampers who denied the bomb plant in the end. But the theory is nice. It's the execution. It was just a couple of kills straying the wrong way is what happened to them in the end. But I like this from Heroic. It's ideas like this that I do enjoy seeing. However, you need to come up with more ideas than this. They're starting to hit a brick wall. They've let them back in the game. And that's the last thing you wanted after you saw what happened before in the last map.
Not just looking for a solution, but maybe some more frags from the rest of Heroic. I mean, Yugi more than doubled the score of the bottom fragger on that side. Meanwhile, Red Reserve, kill spread only 5, so everybody really kind of stepping up, which is crucial because we've seen Heroic try to spread across the map, try to fight on multiple fronts, and in that case, an individual player is just not going to cut it. No matter how many times Yugi can late lurk into B, no matter how many times he can open up on mid, if everybody for Red Reserve is hitting shots and finding success, then they will come out on top, and they have been for the entirety of this CT side. It is flawless at this point. 6 consecutive rounds, and it should be 7, unless Heroic can work off of pistols. Hampus again through smoke, right into the dome of Yugi.
Great timing on the spam. Molly in towards underpass. And this mid pinch is starting to get a little weary here. Last time Rusty hit that ridiculous spray as they came through the smoke towards S-Tag. Not going to get the opportunity yet this time, as the Molly still burns towards underpass, keeping this mid pinch at bay. 2 players towards connector, however, you can see instantly Hampus considering where that next move comes from, and it is through Palace. It's a smart idea. Motty loves playing this, bearing in mind. He loves pushing through Palace late. Niko actually succeeds against Rusty, but it's got to stop now. There's still Relaxer here. If anyone goes up those stairs, there's a problem. Doesn't quite see the cross. He lands just before he gets there. Sees a foot, though. That might be enough. He could get the tag. He doesn't. It'll be Maikelele doing it. 3 kills for Michael. And now Motty left in a 1v4.
Relax is just going to easily stick this, no threat whatsoever.
Counter-terrorists win.
Double digits. When do we believe, Pansy? That's the biggest question.
Next round. Next round, I'm going to start believing in the comeback. We'll see how this one goes. Red Reserve now do have the purchase they need, as to Heroic, but Yugi not on the AWP, sadly, and that's been a bit of a nice factor for them. But who's holding mid right now? Again, it is Hampus. Oh, a missed smoke. That's simply not good enough from this team. They should be nailing that every day of the week. That's going to be called now that, hey, the smoke's missed, guys. What the hell do we do? Hampus could be playing into this. Re-smoke comes in. That's one missing elsewhere, but a fast mid take coming out from Heroic.
Nice flash. Going to hinder them inside connector.
But look at this ramp aggression. This is what Snappy was doing to them not too long ago. This could completely halt the bomb in Yugi's hand.
Ooh. A smidgen of a shoulder shown. And that's enough for EC Tag to take it. Maikelele gonna flash his way towards ramp, but it doesn't connect, so Yugi and Niko, they take two. And that's a man advantage for Heroic. They're trying to further themselves to the site, but Hampus able to deny at least one. Niko trades it back and hangs on to that bit of an advantage. Relaxa towards CT spawn with a frag up and over. Oh my goodness, crucial frag down to the 2v2.
Still two mollies up on Heroic. Freddy needs this kill, and he's going to get it. That's good. Molly didn't get to be ticked off yet, and now Molly takes the fight while he can. He knows the reaction was there, and Freddy just quicker on it. Job done. It's game back on. Red Reserve are right back in this game. They've built up well. This could be putting Heroic in a very bad position now.
Counter-terrorists win.
You know, at this point, Heroic's sweating. Hampus trying to spam yet again. Doesn't catch that headshot as he did prior.
I'm curious where Heroic now go towards. It's not easy at this point. It feels like nothing's working. Freddy's really starting to come into his own. Hampus is making it very tricky to play through middle. Relax's AWP has been there. Maikelele playing back in from short has been great. So everything seems very, very tough for Heroic to break through it. They don't have an easy access point at all. Mid-take coming through at the moment. Eventual pinch towards A, I can imagine, but Relax has been a real pain at doing this. And I really like this from Hampus as well. He can't challenge through window at the moment. It's going to be smoked off, mollied, flashed, watched. So find a new angle, find a new way, and he has. Already going to play from short. Makes the calls out to his teammates. Guys, pressure's coming in. Now be ready on A. The crunch is about to happen.
Oh, crucial play from Rusty, though. Reveals himself from the jungle, finds himself the third. In a crucial round, he's got all these kills already. But that's the double man advantage. CT's trying to rotate in. They know the bomb is down. Heroic trying to fight out from this. Yugi fully health. Motty towards a quarter. The bomb plant attempt comes in. Freddie Frog removes the first, and there we have it. Red Reserve tie at 12 apiece. Heroic empty-handed on this T side. It has been flawless thus far.
Credit to Red Reserve. They don't know when they're out of this. They have come back fighting with everything they've got to make it to those grand finals. You could argue that this was meant to be CLG's spot. You could argue that. And you know what? I wouldn't necessarily say it wasn't. There was mistakes made, obviously, and we saw what happened at the end. But you give Red Reserve the chance, and they are running with it. They are not letting this slip. They want those finals for themselves. They want to face NIP. They want revenge for the match earlier that was simply not good enough from them. But now they look like a different team. Now they're able to meet Heroic on every single front. 3 players at the top of mid now for Heroic, trying to take that mid control away.
comes Heroic, though, trying to split up from Catwalk, so at least with a bit of a shift up. Meanwhile, Hampus, he's going to change direction. Freddie Frog gets burned out of position here, but Maikelele still takes one headshot. EC tag drops him back. Hampus has arrived, and he gets the blind side onto Nico. Freddie still just tucked away, buying time as Hampus finds more. But down to the 2v2 as Relaxa finds one. It's Rusty with the next, and Red Reserve back in the lead. They have done it. They have stolen it away. But how much further can they go?
This would be one of the great comebacks. You do not see this every day. Where do they get this resilience from? I don't understand it. Heroic are great at this map, but right now they are getting nothing done. They're succeeding nowhere on the map. It's all falling apart slightly. Red Reserve are going from strength to strength. Their CT sides are looking so darn solid. There's Heroic now. Gonna try towards B, but these nades, you can see they're considering it. A little early on them, but you can see the intention there. Now, a nice deep molly. They're encouraged to hit. Now they need to split up. They know what's happening. Maikelele not flashed either. He's going to be the one to try and save the day here. He's going to do one big job. Help out Hampers, who's still alive. They have the stack in the right place. This is surely 14.
Oh, Hampus, though, he goes down. Runs out of rounds. Nico reloads the Deeg. There's the bomb now drop. Relaxa hits the shot, and we have it. Red Reserve 1 round shy of securing overtime again, at the very least, because this win looks so real. Uncontested is this half. It has been near perfect. Solid rotation from Hampus. Solid spray, even. Double op setup to the CT side.
Here we go. Hampus starting to feel aggressive. Makes it through on middle. He can walk this up if he wants to. One player on the other side. Freddie flashed up. Backs away. Doesn't outstay his welcome. Feels the pressure and falls off it. Still support there, still has Maikelele. But with the two players by A sitting quite passive, this is a bit of a default. They're waiting to see if there's a move, and there is, and it's Hampus. Who's on the other side? Niko, you better be prepared. Did he hear a step then? He might have done, but Hampus is simply quicker on the trigger. And that is the first kill gone. He expects that mid-presence to be contested. There's no one there. There's no one in underpass. They're all sat on the extremities. This is Red Reserve right on the verge of doing something unthinkable.
Same smoke grenade from Yugi. The rest of the nades come flying over. Relaxa able to leg Mahdi, so damage further dealt. Oh, bad nade from Rusty, though. That softens him up, so he goes for the high flash. Goes for the repeat. Mahdi is distracted. And the help's coming in from Connector, but no, Mahdi whips back round, takes him down, and Freddie finds the trade. Bomb's been planted in the process. And this is a 3v2 for Red Reserve.
Snappy. Gives away position. Molly goes in. Time ticks. Yugi as well needs to get to this round. He's so far away here. Buying time. Snappy just needs to stay alive. He needs to buy time for Yugi to get set up, and he's done it. Yugi now strikes towards Rusty. Surely not. This is not the round you give it up on. Snappy then comes into it. Time is of the essence, and Snappy knows this. None left. And here's the fight finally back for Heroic, but is this the time you start turning this around? Really? This could be OT. If they suddenly come back, if they suddenly work out a way to do this, this could be overtime.
So composed as Snappy. Perfectly played. But is it too little too late? Again, that's the first terrorist round on the board for Heroic. We now find ourselves in the 28th.
And look at the pace from Heroic. They want to get this one going fast. And it's Rusty again. Last time he succeeded. Willie again. He finds one. Decent enough. Estag, though, finds his revenge from before.
Hamp is still up close. We know he can play these smokes so well, though. Double man to the bottom of mid. Could go for the window boost. Options are open as the bomb sits towards spawn. I like this. Just trying to peek and ponder.
Nico being given an opportunity to look towards window. No one's actually there. There's Hampers playing around connector, so they might be able to work that out, but if he has... Oh god, is he going to push towards mid? Oh, this guy's so brazen. He spots one. He might know there could be a boost happening there. Oh, he's going to see it all. This is great from Hampus. Good timing on the push. He spots out the rest of the play. But will he expect the push coming through ramp and palace?
He spots it, but the AK pays off. Damage seriously dealt. That bomb yet to commit here as we hit the 30-second mark. Relax is just waiting for the man on the top of stairs. This is going to keep Maikelele committed towards the murder hole. And again, they haven't seen bombs, so Freddie lingers towards B, but now the Molotov indicates the presence. Up close is the first. Maikelele drops him down, but that doesn't stop the plant. We've got Easy Tag over towards still that window side. He could prevent this rotation in, and he does with a headshot. Yugi with another. 14-14 on the cards. Relaxa needs the clutch. And he's going to try to get up close here. Easy Tag lit towards jungle, but it's not going to stop him. Heroic, when it absolutely matters most, will tie this up. It's anyone's game.
What's the money like right now for the red reserve guys? I want to see what buy they can get. Okay, so 4.8, 2.8. You this actually could be heroic getting to 15. They're buying in on this. They don't want to allow it. They don't even want to consider it. There's Deagles, there's CZs, there's utility, but heroic, this could be the cruelest thing I've ever seen in my life. You get the most powerful half I've ever seen. Red reserve bring it back so close to the brink, and then you rip it away. You take it out of their hands just as they get the taste of victory. That's still yet to be seen. Smoke in towards the deep side of connector. This looks like a play towards B, maybe a split. We'll see if they work off it or if they go through the smoke they're about to place towards that CT side of connector. Hampus going to be finding it hard to find those visuals. Here comes Smokes. He's going to spot it dropping down. He knows what this means. The big player here could be Maikelele. He's the one sat there. He puts down his own smoke, and now he can play to it. This could be big. He does get one, but doesn't see any more. He sees the bomb, but that's about all he's going to get. Freddy Frog waits, and now he knows what's coming his way.
Oh, he almost flicks back, but Motty still gets the best of him. So yes, man advantage. Absolutely secured, but Hampus coming back into the site, able to rip one from afar. Yugi responding with his op and Easy Tag the next, so relaxes all that's left. And that two-man advantage pays off. Heroic, at the last possible moment, have actually been able to do this. They secure overtime. Red Reserve have fallen short, and that is soul-crushing at this point. But it's not over yet. However, they invested in the last one, and it costs them. They've got Kevlar, they've got pistols, and the single ump for Freddy.
I have never seen something this cruel, and Heroic are now picking up the pace. This could be their downfall. Rusty's gonna find Motty. What is this they're coming up with? Don't underestimate these boys. They've been tearing you apart for rounds, and now they line them up. But no shooting gallery just yet as they're fighting back. But there goes another. Rusty finds Snappy, but it's Niko. It's down to the 3v3. This could be Heroic crushing Red Reserve now after letting them taste what it's like to be a victor here. But they have to hit the brakes. They have to respect the opponent just that touch. Fall off this. They don't have that step yet towards A.
Because of all those grenades from Red Reserve, that's why they're able to kind of hinder the push from Heroic. Blind them, smoke them out, get a couple kills. And now they've fallen back, and unfortunately for Red Reserve, they've lost their presence over towards the B site. They've lost the utility that they were able to use at first. And Heroic, clearly with a massive advantage. Op, guns, grenades.
Let's see how Heroic read this. Do they think they're going to stay stacked? Do you think they're going to peel away from it? Do they think they're going to be already walking over towards B? Red Reserve just hit the brakes. They're just waiting this out. And they could spot them going over here. Hampus is going to hear this. He's going to see it. Oh my word. He could maybe land if you know he's looking the wrong way. Freddy as well. Let them go past. And he spots him in the heels. Yugi replies. Hampers back and forth we go. It's still a 2v2. It's still possible for Red Reserve. How badly do you want this? How much do you want to make it to OT and prove that you can maybe make it to those finals? Because in your way is two men, Estag and Niko. And for them, it all comes down to this. Hampus with an AWP now. This could still happen. They have no kit though, so it's got to be right about now.
Hampus still coming in from Catwalk. He is forcing his fight up. Niko inside the corner, goes down. Hampus drops the frag. It's all on Easy Tag. And again, time is ticking quickly. The AK finds the first one, so Maikelele needs to come up big, and he does! He's gonna jump on the bomb, and there's time as well. Red Reserve force OT, but is there?
Oh, he gets it! That's ridiculous! Maikelele didn't even believe. Headset off. He was ready to accept it. Pray to who you want, but 15-15. We're going OT. Red Reserve backs to the wall, come out swinging that AWP, pick up everything. Just somehow happened. What a game we have in store for us. Neither side backing down. Full money now comes through. We get to see what every team wants to bring on this. I don't know what to say anymore. These two teams are fighting at a level that you don't often have to see people going to. This is the semi-final you want to see. This isn't even the grand finals. That's still yet to come. Both games going to all three, but I think this one is a little special.
You and I have been blessed with incredibly close series all weekend long.
All right, double AWP comes in for Red Reserve now. They have the full buy upcoming, 16K. Everything they need. Freddie, are you ready for what's in front of you? There's 3 players down here, maybe more. You might be able to see a slither soon enough, and who hits the shot? Gonna see it, gonna call it, and should get ready for what could be coming his way. But, again, Heroic have no need to commit early here. They have the potential to pick as well. They've got the AWP up on Yugi. No rush. Take your time. Oh, sweet Jesus, Snappy. That's gonna hurt.
Now what, though? Red Reserve able to just hold the line. Smoke out towards the windowsill. Another one on connector. Rusty trying to respond with a frag. Chips Niko ever slightly. Again, Heroic came up so empty-handed for the vast majority of that T side. Now they're starting to get this rolling. Easy tag with one. Hampus down. He tries to creep in.
That's so unfortunate for him. He gets hit by the utility going through, so it gives away his position. You don't see that sort of thing defining rounds often, but now it's down to Maikelele and Freddie to play this one back in. Michael spots one towards Tetris. He's going to try and play it fast. Molly goes in. Great shot from him. Digging deep here, but both players now playing towards middle. They have utility left. They have smokes here as well on the CT side. This gets problematic, but Niko, smart play, going to come back around. He can go CT if he feels like he's got time for it, or he can go jungle. Needs to spot it though. Yugi gets the tag, not the frag, but the bomb's not quite planted for Yugi. He can swing on it, but there's the smoke. One touch towards the bomb. Freddie pounces. It's down to Niko now, 1v2. Time is ticking. One flash he has to hand, puts it out. He knows the defuse is coming through. Oh, he gets them! Niko gets them both! Down to absolutely nothing. Bomb explodes. Round on the board for Heroic.
Crucial round at that. Again, consider the success from their T side in regulation. For him to already have one, this is big. Look at this. Just frantically trying to connect it, and he does with the last shot. Freddy Frog steps back in. Heroic with another chance to further themselves here and now.
The resilience shown by Red Reserve on their CT side is incredibly impressive. And you've got to feel that during regular time, of course, they weren't having the best of times on that T side. So you've got to hope that they put at least one on the board here. Ideally 2. That's how you've got to look at it. Simply enough. Heroic didn't exactly have much of a better time, but they recovered towards the end. They showed a little bit more, I feel, at least coming into OT. So now, see what Red Reserve can do. Smoke goes in towards Palace. Hampus again. Vying towards window, waiting for that smoke to fade, but Heroic are on the other side. Timing is everything now.
Hampus going to try to get to the other side of this. He hears, of course, this jumping. Good call not to continue in. That could have cost them. Hampus wanted it. Maikelele as well in a good position to stop it. So now everyone just going in through connector. Rusty's going to line up 1-2 near 3, but it's still easy tag with a sliver of health. Maikelele with 1, and Maikelele with the next. It is just Mahdi left. 16-16 on the cards. It's on the board as well. Here we go. 1 round left in the opening half of OT to decide who gets the lead. Moving into the second.
I do need to also highlight as well, James Duffield said he'd eat a whole pineapple if we're here at Gone Midnight. So if we go double OT, the next, the grand final goes to 3 maps, couple of OTs in there. He will have to eat a whole pineapple, and we'll do it on camera. That's a promise from Twitch, and Twitch does not lie. Just gonna make it official, James. 16-16, this is back and forth. This is neither team relenting. Yugi looking for that opening piece towards B, but not gonna be giving it for free. Freddie now, smokes down, doesn't want any more of that. Backs away. And the mid control gonna begin to build for Heroic. Couple of smokes put in. No one's really fighting this on the CT side. They don't really need to. They can give up mid control, but it's the pinch towards B that's gonna be the problem. Maikelele and Freddie better be ready for what's on the other side of those smokes.
Maikelele finds the headshot. Excellently done. Goes back for the re-peek, and with back's turn, he takes 1. Niko responds as Freddie reveals himself from the corner, though, and he gets a second. So excellently held by Red Reserve all across the kill feed. They lose only 1 player in the process. Maikelele's feeling it, and Red Reserve must be too. To think that this all starts with 12-3 halves. And we find Red Reserve with a 1-point lead in this.
Yeah, you can see the crowd starting to build up as well now. Everyone realizing this game's going on. You can see at the start of DreamHack Valencia too, a couple of chairs chilling out. You can literally see people pulling over the chairs. Sorry, StarCraft, but we've got to take the chairs from somewhere, guys. Anyway, 16-17 is the score here in OT. Frustration aplenty throughout the ranks on Heroic, I can imagine. Not expecting this sort of challenge, but Red Reserve are close to this. But double OT isn't impossible here. I honestly wouldn't be surprised. Double up straight away brought out for Heroic on their CT side. T side was the real taxing part for Red Reserve. They need to refine this, bring it through. And now Yugi nails the jump. Straight over we go. Flashes galore, but will they expect it?
Oh, Relaxa. Insta headshot. Niko finds a trade frag, but Maikelele's there. And he takes this one into the hands of Red Reserve. Rusty wanted to come up from underpass, but he does get burned out here. Still so much utility to play with. A little bit of a flashbang, a little bit of a push from Mahdi up on Cat. Now, again, there's nobody else for that B site other than him. Bomb could have just started to try to creep its way in, but instead it doubles back over towards the spawn. Red Reserve with the man advantage.
I like this as well. The deeper-sided kind of smoke here, it almost kind of like shows that it's going to be a B hit. You can see them reading into it as well. Motty then instantly ran back looking towards the apartments. Now, S-Tag's not so sure. He's still here, as is Snappy. And oh god, the information play catches Rusty off guard. It's back down to a 3v3, and Snappy now focuses. He knows that may not be the B hit that we all predicted, but here it comes. He already spots out the player, smokes it out, catches the nade to the face. He's down to 8 HP, and the strike is good from Red Reserve. The follow-up nade takes him down. It's Motty left in a 1v3. Red Reserve are so close to this. You still feel there might be a chance. Maybe Motty can do something incredible. Oh, he only had a couple of bullets. He tried, but he did fail in the end. Red Reserve, 1 away now from the grand finals. This is their moment to find revenge, to make it through, to take on the Ninjas in the grand final. Maikelele's old team. Can they do it? Can they close it out now when it matters?
Maikelele would love to taste the revenge, and they only need 1 round. Heroic scrambling for double OT. After a 12-3 start, Red Reserve turned this upside down. There's a great opening though. EC Tag able to drop Relaxa. That's right off of mid. So again, the bomb's not committed anywhere just as of yet, but now Red Reserve need to find a way to mitigate the man advantage.
Bomb's still at the top of the middle. Not moving it yet. And it looks like Freddie might have to come around and grab it. Not sure who's going to play into this, but Maikelele's going to try and work some room. This could end up being a B hit, just because they have that play building up towards short here. Who's on the other side? It's Niko. Niko can decide how this unravels. He will find one that's Rusty. He didn't spot out Maikelele yet, but the bomb is en route. On the other side, Mahdi has to be stoic in nature and hold this down. has to try and defend this side. Maikelele strikes though. S-tags there. Hampus as well. We're down to a 3v3. This could be it.
They're going to try to box it in on the B site. Motty yet to reveal himself. He swings out wide. Yugi with one frag. Snappy the next. And Heroic keep this going. We're going to the last round of this overtime. Heroic in desperation.
Here we go again. 18-17. Is it double OT? Do Heroic want another shot at this? Or is it Red Reserve winning right here, right now, and making it to those grand finals? I haven't seen teams beating the hell out of each other like this for a while, but Yugi is going straight up towards middle, and I like this. A little bit of a switch up. You can still back away. It's not like it's a huge commitment, but it's nice. It's a little bit of a different approach. Does he want to back from it yet? No. He still likes this. And Maikelele and Freddy expecting something happening through middle, just biding their time. They're in no hurry. They've got themselves towards match point, of course. All pressure starts to look like it's on Heroic, but here comes the A build. But it's not the real hit. It's not the real plan in mind. They're going to commit to it, but they lose out. Rusty's there. Snappy goes. And now everyone's responding accordingly, but Hampers comes alive. But where is that bomb? Where's the rest of the players? It's going to be Motty. It's do or die for him. It's all on Motty to save his team. Will he come up with his kill? Or will it be Red Reserve to win the game?
East Tag tries to hold off on middle, but Freddy Frog trades at a cost. He sits on 12 HP, so yes, this is all on Mahdi. Relaxa patiently awaits some kind of overstep. 50 seconds left. He does have a Molotov if he wants to try and clear it, but that would announce his presence. He's going to give a little bit of time here for his brother to try and clear out on A. Both teams split.
Purely just due to the time they're taking, Motty should not move a muscle, and he knows that. If Freddy can get towards window... Oh no, this is it! There, Relaxer! He waited! Patience is his virtue, and it's all on Nico now.
Oh, Freddy could have waited as well, though. And he didn't. He offered the frag, and Nico graciously accepts. Needs to try and get back into market as the fire begins to fade. Smoke flash frag to play. Relaxa is now dry. Here comes Nico stepping out, and they do it! Red Reserve with an upset versus Heroic. They're in the grand finals of DreamHack Valencia, an all-Swedish finals. Exactly what Threat wanted, exactly what Red Reserve wanted. What a way to go.
Incredible grit, determination, and sheer want to make it that far. To come back from the deficit that they were given as a team who plays like, you know, quote-unquote a puggy mix, shows incredible resilience. They can be so proud of what they've achieved here, and it's not just, you know, the Maikelele show, it's not just one man. Every single player have had their moments up to this point. And as I said, it will be the Swedish affair in the grand final. Heroic had plenty of opportunity. You saw how hard this game was, how far it went on so many maps. Almost OT in all of them, just clinching it at the very end. But what a brilliant semi-final here. I don't think you could ask for much better. So that's us done. I'm pretty excited for this grand final, I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, me too. It's actually gonna be an awesome match to watch. Again, I can't help but feel like Ninjas in Pajamas are gonna be coming in as a favorite, but Red Reserve have shown us a lot of promise throughout this weekend, and they'd love to walk home with a win.
No, I think for a brand new lineup to come into this with teams like Heroic, like Envy here, who have more experience than most, to come in and do this sort of damage is incredibly impressive. They showed so much heart in that game that you just can't take it away from them. We are just going to be waiting for the stage interview to be ready, and once we are, we'll head down there and hear what they had to say about that matchup, because I can imagine it meant the world to them, because that was a marathon. That went for so long in the end.
Yeah, incredible distance. The fact that overtime is forced from a 12-3 start. Oh, Heroic.
Right, well, we're going to wrap things up here because we've been talking long enough. Let's hear from the stage. And Stunner, how's that feeling on there?
Yeah, you could tell things were just a little tense here a minute ago. I'm standing with Maikelele, able to pick up that W, going to the finals of DreamHack Valencia. Now, you guys did have a really long night last night. How were you able to prepare going into today?
I just told the guys just to go to rest, like to get a good amount of hours to sleep. And I don't know, like we just talked about the game yesterday, and yeah, thank you, Kusta. But yeah, no, but I don't know, like we just talked and prepared like how we like to prepare the games. we're not talking too much about what the opponents are doing. Maybe we're just talking a little bit, but yeah, it felt good. Everyone was playing really, really good today.
Now, you had a lot of individual performances step up, notably Hampus over on Overpass, even over here, going into this last map of Mirage. What is there to say about these young bucks stepping up?
I mean, this is probably the worst tournament for me personally, and to see the young guys in my team do the damage that they're doing, I mean, it's so huge. Like, it's kind of the first international LAN event, and it's amazing to see, and hopefully we can win the final as well.
Now, you've got roughly 1 hour before you face Ninjas and Pajamas in the finals. How do you feel that's going to go?
It's a revenge game, a little bit of grudge game maybe, I don't know, but not in a bad way. Like, I'm still friends with them from before, but I don't know, like, we're just gonna chill, relax, and just talk about the next game, and hopefully we can do good. And I really want to win a DreamHack trophy, so we'll see.
Well, I think with the path you guys are on, you might be able to do it. Definitely have yourself a little bit of decompression, going to those finals refreshed, and I'm going to kick it over to the desk now where these guys are going to break it down for you guys at home.
Thanks so much, Stunner. There were so many moments there where we felt like Heroic were going to run away with it, but Red Reserve would just not give up. Guys, Swedes really know how to play Counter-Strike, don't they?
They're pretty good at it.
They're okay at it. How did you feel about that game? It was very tense. Very tense.
Extremely tense game, and we talked about how the first game of first series of the day was, one that probably showcased the best Counter-Strike we've seen so far. This was probably the most tense one in that sense. Every map going pretty much the full distance. Just overall, kind of a spectacle really of Counter-Strike, which was really fun to watch. Again, flooded with a ton of individual performances, big rounds, stepping up from not necessarily the most known players, which is always fun to see.
And who talking of players, who were standout players for you?
Hampus definitely played minds out for Red Reserve. So did Relaxer, the AWPer.
Yeah.
He really gave Yugi a run for the money.
Talking of Hampus, here he is on screen. Here's some of his highlights from this best of 3.
And it was throughout all 3 maps. He never really cooled down. He was just consistently being a beast throughout the game and consistently making great plays. Especially this USP round made them able to contest for overpass as well. It was just in general, as Vendetta said, all from Red Reserve had rounds. Even Rusty, who had a rough game the first two maps, stepped up on Mirage and won a lot of important rounds for them. So it's so great to see when especially such an inexperienced team are able to do that and keep stepping up despite facing a lot of difficulties throughout the game.
Yeah, and you can tell they do it. It's not just like a fluke thing either, the way they do it. You can tell when they play out that 2v2 in the very last round of OT, how patient Relaxa is in B-apps. He literally sat still for about a minute. And obviously, if you're Mahdi, you couldn't have hit a worse timing in that sense after holding that angle for about a minute or so. But the fact that they just take their time, they're cool, calm, and collected enough to actually reevaluate their options at any given scenario in the game and make correct decisions is just, and also have a bit of luck on their side, but still go through that thought process instead of just running blindly into unknown territories is very, very promising, and something obviously that they're going to take with them into the finals, because this just builds more and more confidence that they're doing the right thing. It's just solidifying that impression.
Yeah, and as you can see on the screen there, the stats say it all for Hampus. For Heroic then, sadly we have to say goodbye. Not what anyone expected. I don't think any of us predicted this. We have to say goodbye to Heroic. Any standout players for them? Particularly, I want to ask you about Estag coming in to replace Valdo. One of the first times we've seen him playing within this 5. How do you feel like he did?
He did okay. The whole team, in a sense, did fine, but no one really stood out through the series. That was maybe the main point. Usually it's Yugi, Niko, and then Estag who was supposed to stand out. But for my money, Snappy was the best player on Heroic's side. So he was really putting up a lot of great frags. He was in-game leading the guys, and in general, they needed that extra spice. They needed that extra fire from either Yugi or Niko to actually step it up and win some of those rounds they shouldn't be winning, and they didn't, especially on Mirage. I think it went down to 6 or 7 clutches where none of them went Heroic's way, and that's atypical for them. Yeah.
And so what can they do from here out now? What their conversations going to be like? Because they're going to be gutted. Coming into this, the interviews were so different. It's we're
happy to be out of groups.
Red were we're happy to be out the groups, man. We're just happy to be in the final. But Heroic were we want to win this whole tournament. So they're going to be gutted now. What are their conversations going to have to be after this point?
Obviously, need to swallow some sadness first. But when they get back home again, there's plenty of rounds that they're going to look back at and shore up on it. If you consider the fact that if you want to put it into context, how very easily that game could have been theirs for the first half on Mirage, for instance. The 2 rounds that we actually see Red Reserve pick up are the pistol round and a force buy round. So they only get 1 weapon round out of 15 rounds on the T side of Mirage, which obviously means on default, you're doing great if you're heroic. But again, it's those couple of rounds here and there over the course of train overpass and Mirage that you lose to pistols, for instance, which are rounds that you normally shouldn't lose. That obviously you need to shore up on. And obviously, going over to the T side, actually realizing or getting to the conclusion quicker that your A takes aren't working. When you do the same kind of play where you want to plant for Catwalk and still have Yugi rotate around from B apps, but he's always a punch too late really to actually have any impact before the rest of the team has been eradicated. That kind of thing, again, just tighten up the timings of your executes and the set strats that you have. That's pretty much what they can do, because again, it's not necessarily that they made massive mistakes that made them lose. It was also Red Reserve bringing it to them and playing at a very, very high level. Yeah, talking of which, Red Reserve now go through to the final. We have an all-Swedish final, which, we could have predicted, I suppose. Maikelele there spoke slightly a little bit about they're just going to rest, they're going to have a sleep, they're just going to relax. But he also mentioned that this is like revenge for him in particular, and this is kind of like a grudge match, even though they're all friends behind the scenes. In terms of in-game and competitive CS-wise, this is a grudge match. So this is really important for him. Let's just line this up briefly before we jump to a break before the final. Well, obviously, it's Maikelele's turn to showcase that he's doing fine on his own in that sense, even after the departure from NIP. And the fact that there's new talent around in Sweden, and I think they're just going to have to put on the best show they can. Again, they could come into this with no pressure. It seemed to work really well for them in the semifinals versus Heroic. So I'm excited to see what it can do. Domestic matchups are always fun. Yeah, Jacob, do you think they can do it?
I think there's a chance, but it's a very small chance, honestly. As said, they can come in with no pressure at all. We even talked about it before the semifinal, no pressure at all. They already feel like winners after yesterday, and they sure as hell do now. So, coming in, as said as well, a domestic matchup, Maikelele knows the NIP guys in and out. It could be dangerous. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, guys. We lose Heroic. We already lost Envious. 2 teams that could well easily have made it to the grand final, but the grand final is full of Swedes. NIP versus Red Reserve is coming up at 8 PM, so definitely don't miss that. First, let me talk a little bit about the Strafe Esports app. You can get this on iOS or Android, and it's a place where you can keep up with everything esports, everything Counter-Strike. If you've got favorite teams, favorite players that you want to catch up on, see when they're playing next, if you're out and about and you want to see how their match is going, you can check it all on your mobile phone. So go to your app store and check that out. Join us back here at 8 PM for the grand final. It's one not to miss. It's going to be amazing.